In a quaint village nestled between rugged mountains and whispering forests, there lived a humble stonecutter named Taro. Day in and day out, Taro toiled beneath the blazing sun, chiseling away at rough stones to create beautiful sculptures for the villagers to admire. Despite his simple life, Taro harbored a secret longing deep within his heart. He yearned for power and status, believing that only then would he be truly happy and fulfilled. Daydreams of wealth and influence filled his mind as he worked, distracting him from the beauty of the present moment. One hot summer's day, as Taro hammered away at a stubborn piece of rock, he heard the distant sound of trumpets and drums. Curious, he followed the noise until he came upon a magnificent procession winding its way through the village streets. At its head rode the king himself, surrounded by a retinue of courtiers and soldiers, their colorful robes billowing in the breeze. Envious of the king's power and prestige, Taro whispered a fervent wish to the heavens above. "Oh, how I wish I were as mighty as the king himself," he exclaimed, his voice tinged with longing. To his astonishment, his wish was granted in an instant. In the blink of an eye, Taro found himself transformed into a powerful ruler, seated upon a magnificent throne adorned with jewels and gold. His heart swelled with pride as he surveyed his kingdom, the once distant dream of power now a reality. But as the days passed, Taro soon discovered that being a king was not as glorious as he had imagined. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily upon his shoulders, and the endless demands of his subjects left him feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. No matter how much power he wielded, Taro could not escape the feeling of emptiness that gnawed at his soul. Desperate to reclaim his former life, Taro whispered another wish to the heavens above. "Oh, how I wish to be a stonecutter once more," he pleaded, his voice filled with regret. Once again, his wish was granted, and Taro found himself back in his humble workshop, the sound of hammer on stone echoing through the air. But this time, something had changed within him. As he chiseled away at the rough rock, Taro felt a newfound sense of contentment wash over him. He realized that true happiness could not be found in power or status, but in the simple joys of everyday life. From that day forward, Taro embraced his true nature as a stonecutter with renewed vigor and gratitude. He no longer yearned for the trappings of wealth and influence, knowing that the greatest treasure of all lay within his own heart. And though he may have been just a simple stonecutter in the eyes of the world, Taro knew that he was richer and more powerful than any king could ever be, for he had found peace and acceptance of his true self.